just also want to spend a couple of words on advertising and marketing. A lot of people see the search engines as a kind of enemy, but the search engines are actually our friend, because the search engines actually help us play on a level field with other companies, bigger companies than we are. So when I talk about advertising and marketing our business, what we can do today is we can basically pretty much build a website for free. And if we're a bit clever about it, it can look really quite professional. I have a few mates who've built their own websites and they look brilliant. Then we can take this free website and we can market it through a blog, social media, and so on. And we can actually, in this day and age, build a sustainable, great business with not very much financial outlay at all. So that's really exciting, very powerful. But let's also talk a little bit about the way we shop today, because that has dramatically changed. And I've just put some numbers out, and 97% of consumers research online before they buy today. That's huge. It really does mean that 97% of people, before they buy from you, they've actually been to your website. So you hope that your website is making a good impression. There's 800 million people on Facebook alone. That's also amazing. It's a really great place to pick up new customers. And, when people ask me, there's heaps of people still asking me, do I really have to do Facebook? I mean, all I say to them is, there's 800 million people on Facebook. Yeah, can you miss out on this opportunity? And I'm actually one of the people who believes that if you don't do social media today, you won't have a business tomorrow, because the people who do social media and who do it well, they're going to come and grab your customers. And the last number I'm going to throw at you is that it's been predicted that 14 billion people, $14 billion are going to be made in online sales by the year 2015. That's a lot of dosh. Okay, and so what you need to understand is that no matter if your business is local or if you're selling stuff online, you must understand the basics of internet influence engines. So when I say internet influence engines, it's Google, it's Facebook, it's Twitter. There's a lot more to it, but you must understand the basics here, or your buyers won't find you, they won't hear about you, and they certainly won't buy your stuff. So it's very important that you understand the basics, and that's what I'm trying to kind of help you with today as well. But if you think all of that is kind of bad news because you're actually not doing many sales online, you're actually not generating many leads online yet, then I can tell you, no, this is great news. This is opportunity knocking at your door, because if you're not doing it well yet, well, there's great opportunity for your business to grow. Okay, now the big question, how are we going to do this? Okay, so let's have a look at the process. So the process of how we're going to do this, we call this the 5 Ps of website marketing success. And it's a step-by-step process that we're taking you through. And it's about purpose, promotion, persuasion, productivity, and persistence. Okay, so let's start with the purpose. So when you're taking your business online, or I assume that most of you have already got a website, but on some level you're probably not so happy with it, because otherwise you wouldn't be here tonight. So there's room for improvement. So the thing is, when you go and have your online presence or your website created or your online marketing plan created, you have to keep 2 things in mind. You have to be very clear about these 2 things, and that's, who are you targeting? So who is your market? And it's really important because it determines the look of your website, what you're going to tell people, and how you're going to tell it. It also determines your call to action. Okay, it's very important. So, for example, if you're a business who's marketing to teenagers, then you're quite likely to have quite a strong Twitter and Facebook presence there. Whereas if your target market is in their late 50s, yeah, and if you can catch those guys online, then you're much more likely to get them to pick up the phone and talk to you, because they are going to be much more likely to be picking up the phone and wanting to talk to you rather than searching you out on Twitter, which is not what they're going to do. So it's really important to know who you're dealing with. To know which call of action you're going to make very prominent, because you're probably going to have more than one call of action on your site, but you're going to want to have one that's the one that's blatantly obvious and that you'll want people to do. So for an older target market, it would be the phone. For a very young target market, you'd want to start by getting them to follow you on Twitter, as an example. So secondly, you want to be really clear about what you want to achieve from your website and online presence. So I do work with business owners who are very clear that they want more leads, more sales, more phone calls from their website. But there's also other businesses who just, after increased brand recognition, they don't want to be called by just anyone. They just want to show off what they've got. Some businesses want more exposure. Some businesses market events and they want to sell tickets, and other businesses want to build their database, which, by the way, is probably something that anyone should have at the top of their list. So going back to step one, you need to know what your purpose is, and also you need to know what you're going to want from your website, not just today, but in 6 months' time and in a year's time, so that you can factor that into the planning of your website and online presence. Really important, the purpose. Secondly, promotion. So promotion is the part where we're getting visitors to our website, and in nerd language we call that traffic creation. So traffic creation, there's, people always ask me about traffic creation. There is no secrets here. Traffic comes from certain sources, and those sources are available to anyone. So let's start with the cheapest ones. The cheapest ones are your Google business listings. And when I say Google business listing, I mean what was formerly Google Maps or Google Local. Now, anyone needs a Google business listing, no matter whether they're a local brick and mortar business or selling stuff online. It just really is important to connect your Google listing to your website, because it really is good for your Google ranking to have them both. So the other thing is online directory listings. Both your Google listing and your online directory listing, you can do that yourself, and it's free. If you want to spend a couple of $100s on it, that's good as well, because there are a couple of tricks that you need to know to really optimize those listings, and they are really important when it comes to creating that traffic to your website. Social media, yes, definitely Facebook and Twitter and your blog, which I kind of count as social media as well. They really help to create traffic to your website. Your blog, they both help you for social proof as well, and to establish you as an expert in your area. Now let's look at SEO and SEM. So SEO is search engine optimization, and that's what's also sometimes referred to as organic ranking. Now, organic ranking, I can tell you right now, is a myth, a complete myth, because the people who rank organically on the top of Google, if it's a powerful keyword, a keyword that really brings in money, they have paid dearly for it, believe you me. So organic ranking to me is a bit of a myth. But it is important to rank on Google, and it's important to spend time and effort and maybe a bit of money on it as well. Now, the other option you have to rank highly on Google is if you pay per click, and that's also referred to as search engine marketing. So pay per click advertising is a different way to get on top of Google. And you've probably seen the ads. Pay-per-click ads are the ones that are sort of on top of the page on Google in the shaded areas, and the ones that go down the right-hand side of your page, the blue listings there. So if you click on those ads, somebody pays for it, and some people pay a premium for it. But if you're in a business where the clicks aren't ridiculously important, like in web design, you can imagine, like I could pay up to anything from $15 to $35 for a click, which is ridiculous. But I have businesses on pay-per-click ads, and they pay $1 per click, and they get good business out of it. And the good thing, or the great thing about pay-per-click, is that you can switch it on and you can switch it off as you need it. So say, you have a bit of a quiet month ahead of you. Well, you can switch on your Google pay-per-click ads, and you can generate some business. And when you've generated the business, then you can switch it off and you stop paying. So it's brilliant. So all of these are ways to create traffic to your website online. But obviously, your business cards, all your print advertising, events that you run, all these things can help to generate traffic to your website. And this is what we have under promotion. So the more traffic, the more likely you are to make a lot of sales. Okay, now once you've got people to your website, the persuasion comes in. And so basically what you need to do is, and that's sometimes what's lacking a bit for people as well. So I get a lot of clients who spend $400 on a website, and then they spend thousands of dollars on creating traffic to that website. And then they're surprised that they don't get any return from this. So your website is actually the central part of the whole system, because your website is what people come to, what they look at, and where you've got 8 seconds to tell them who you are, what you do, why you and nobody else, because you're the best, and that is the job of your website. So your website needs to look professional, and it needs to perform well. So, but once you've got them there, and say you've done the job well, the website looks brilliant, and people sort of think it's professional and they want to hang out for a bit. So once you've got them over the 8-second mark, then you want to build on that trust and education. So once you've got them, you don't really want to let them go. So you want to have a mechanism to capture their details in return for something that you can give them, valuable information or a discount or a voucher, for example. So don't expect people to sign up for a newsletter. If you've got a newsletter as a sign up, then don't be disappointed, because really nobody wants any more stuff in their inbox. But if you give them an incentive, save $40 off their first invoice or whatever it might be, then they might be more inclined to give you their details. So persuasion, keep in touch, make offers and promotions, and that is a really important part of the process, to keep them interested and keep them buying. And this is where productivity comes in. So now, if you've got the first 3 things really down to a T, then you will create more sales and you'll have more productivity.